Q&A comp here. Let's talk about getting pulled over. One of the things that people forget is how to act for the most part. Now, I know you've all seen the videos out there. I'm some kind of a free inhabitant and all these other things. In essence, when the police officer pulls you over, we should all do what they say to do. Here's some things to remember, and this is from me being a motor cop doing thousands of traffic stops. A lot of the times, I didn't issue the citations to the people that admitted what they did wrong. Who would have thought? Because 90% of the people I stopped, oh, well, it wasn't me, couldn't have been me, didn't do it even when I showed them the photo on laser of them exceeding the speed limit by 30 miles an hour. It still came down to that. So here's some things to remember. The cop doesn't know you. I don't know who you are. You might be the best person in the world. You don't know me. Maybe I was on the bad side of hell first part of the morning the moment I stop you. Now, I shouldn't let any of those issues, my mental state, affect the way that I treat you. But we're all human, and again, I should reserve myself to not pull anybody over until I get my composure, but you don't know how people act, so I would just, out of respect for who knows where they are in their mindset, just do what they say. Over 95% though of the cops are going to be in the right mind, so it's not going to be an issue. Now, when you get lit up, that means when the lights come on, you might get a siren chirp or two. Make sure you roll down all your windows and turn off any music or radio or books on tape. Listen for the pullover commands. That's what you're doing. The police officer might not want you to pull over on this particular section of roadway. Maybe they want you to pull into a parking lot or a parking space. Listen intently. What you want to make sure of is you obey their commands. That's going to give you kudos and points, and plus he's going to want to pull you over somewhere safe for you. Stops on a major street, he gets rear-ended, your car gets rear-ended, you get whiplash, you're in the hospital. It's just a mess. So pay attention, listen to commands. Now, if you don't hear the cop giving you instructions on where he wants you to stop, pull over to the right side of the roadway as far as you can and do it in a safe manner. So pull over as far as you can without running into the ditch or off the road or into the parked car or whatever it may be. If the stop's at night, you're going to notice that your car's lit up like a Christmas tree. This is procedure. Shadows cause pain. So we want to make sure that, in fact, with regard to what you're looking for or what they're looking for, that there are no shadows in that particular vehicle. So that's why. So they're going to hit your rearview mirror with a spotlight. They're going to hit side mirrors with spotlights. That's just procedure. Now, the police officer, day or night, could approach from particular areas. It might be that they're going to be coming in from the left side, passenger side. It could be they're going to come up from the driver's side, but it just depends on their point of view and their safety. Now, I wouldn't go for any documents, license, wallets, registration, insurance until they tell you to do so. I would just sit tight. I would keep my hands on the steering wheel at the 10 and 2 position. So you got your hands just like good driving school, have them on the wheel, and just sit there and wait for instructions. Now, if you're one of those folks that happens to be armed, whether you have permission or don't have permission, there are guns in the car, you're going to want to let that cop know, and don't move your hands. Don't try to go for it to show them. Wait for commands. Maybe they're going to be calling additional units. Maybe they're going to want you to step out of the vehicle. But I'm sure once you say that, they're going to go guns up until they figure out who you are. Even if you say, listen, I'm Connor McIver, LAPD, I'm an armed police officer, I have I have permission to carry, and so on and so forth. They don't know who I am. They don't know Connor McIver. And even if they've heard the name, maybe they don't know what I look like. But at the end of the day, keep your hands at 10 and 2 and wait. Maybe they're going to call other units, just like I said. Just sit tight and wait. Now, if you want to become YouTube famous for filming the incident, I understand, and a lot of people try to do that, but know that it's going to make that contact between you and the officer a lot more complicated. It just makes things much more difficult. Now, of course, it's your right as long as the officer doesn't feel threatened. Just use good sense. But again, this camera, the phone, everything gets in the way and causes a lot of distraction. Just be understanding of that. And of course, if friends in the car, yeah, tell them just sit there and be quiet. A lot of times friends make everything worse because in the group, everybody thinks it's funny, and who knows if the cop's going to take it personal or not. They shouldn't, but again, not everybody's built the same. Have good manners. If you believe the cop has committed some act of misconduct, tell them you want to talk to the supervisor. If they say, well, no, none of my supervisors are available, they're all tied up, say, you know what, I do insist, and I'll go ahead and sit here and wait till one comes available, but have them come see me because I need to speak to them about an issue that I had today with your stop. And then finally, understand there's always somewhere. It's just about a time element, whether or not, how long it's going to take them, not whether or not they're going to come out. I am Q&A cop, Connor McIver. This is the best rules, best things to obey when getting pulled over. Have a great day. QAcop.com. We'll talk to you soon.